Hmm. All right, we're live. Let's go fix the shield system. Just quickly recap the problems that I'm facing currently in the game. Okay, so what's going on here is I want this to actually like block attacks. I have a shield collider activated. It's designed to disable the it's designed to disable the attacking colliders the moment it makes contact, but right now it's not actually working. It's not doing what I want it to do. Yeah, see, I just took damage. Hmm. Yeah. I have a feeling this is going to be either really, really easy or really, really difficult. I have no idea which it's going to be. I haven't synced the data. I haven't pushed to the repository in a long time. Probably not a good thing. Well, regardless, let's go see if I can pick up where we left off. Uh, Man, I got so many scripts here. There they are. Damage collider and body collider. Oh, one thing I should probably check. Okay, is shield is checked. All right. Well, it was worth making sure. So the shield has a body collider attached to it, but it's a special body collider that's designed to cancel out damage instead of accept damage. And by that I mean it has this checkbox checked. It is shield. That's pretty much it. Excuse me. Hmm. Okay, this isn't very helpful for me right now. So I will do this, I guess. But look. So now I can selectively make sure that only a specific body collider um, prints to the console, because now I'm like not sure which is which. And by default it's false. So that way I don't have to go through all of them and make sure that I got the right one. And so I had to like fish through all of them and disable them. I think that makes sense. Okay, debug on for shield collider. I guess I should do the same thing for this one. Excuse me. Oh. Oh, what? Whatever. Okay. Hmm. That thing is printing to the console. Interesting. Wonder what that means. Oh. Okay, I'm not even sure where to start, to be honest. Oh, I know what to do. So obvious. It's so obvious. Of course. I'm using the wrong collision layer. So on the default bit should be on 8 because I was using 8 for hit detection. Ugh. Okay. I feel like I should have caught that yesterday. I guess the red flag was that I made so that. So the red flag for me was that this shield is the only body collider in the entire scene that has this checkbox enabled, which means, and since absolutely nothing was printing to the console, like it was just blank, that means that it wasn't. That means that the attack wasn't hitting the shield; it's just passing right through it. So that meant there's a collision issue. So thought about it, and then I remembered, like yeah, just now, collision layers exist. Yeah, they exist. Totally forgot. And I am using them. Okay, let's see what happens now. Let's see if it works. Okay, I'm gonna start off by allowing myself to get hit without the shield enabled. Let's see what happens. Okay, I take damage as expected. Oh. And I raise my shield and see what happens. Aha! Valid damage collider previously. What? Oh, I'm dumb. This doesn't matter. It was just a misleading choice of text. So basically, when an attack collider is like or a damage collider is like first enabled, or when it's used, it's well, it's an area node, so that means that, oh, I shouldn't be looking at it here. I'm just gonna turn the music off. So that means that here's a damage collider. That means that the collision shape attached to it, this is controlled by the animation, and by default it is disabled, but it is not disabled when the animation when it's like a during the attack animation. But that's not good enough for the I'm so bad at articulating this, I'm probably just making it sound more confusing than it really is. What I'm trying to say is that there are two layers to this. There's the collision layer itself, and then there's also a private variable on the damage collider called is blocked. And if it hits a body collider with that is marked that is a if it collides with the body collider that's marked as a shield, it's marked as block, and it won't work until the next time that it transitions from disabled to enabled. I think that's a pretty adequate description of what happens. So it seems to work now. According to my testing, it works. I'm gonna see what happens when I hold the shield at like different angles. I need to fix that issue with the player holding things that he's not actually got equipped. Okay. I think that's a good start. So the shield is blocking damage. It's working as intended. But I think that it should apply knockback still. I think the old system actually did do that. I think it did apply knockback. It just didn't apply damage. Alright. Let's figure this out. Okay, so what I should be doing is I should be applying the damage value and the knockback direction separately. Right now my master is probably a bad name for this variable. Let's change it. It's also possible that health system is probably not a good place for knockback calculation. But oh well. So receive damage. This takes a damage value. This takes a knockback, a vector for excuse me, for knockback. When does this get used? So what I should probably do is I should separate damage and knockback into separate things. I will do that right now. I'm just not sure if a knockback should be on health system or not. Thing is, the health system node or type is used on multiple locations. Like it's used on the player, but it's also used on all of the monsters. Well, most of them. If I have to attach it manually to the monsters. The reason why I might want to have knockback as part of this class is to make sure that anything that has damage can have knockback. Then again, maybe that's not the best idea. Maybe it's not the best idea. Maybe I should. I'm pretty much just thinking out loud at this point. If I separate them, that would make more that could make more work for myself, but it will also make it more flexible. Now, actually, in the long run, it'll probably be less work. You know what? Let's do it. And you could see my my web development reflexes kicking in. I typed PHP instead of CS. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen again. It's happened many times already. It's not a huge. I don't think it's a huge deal. So far I haven't been writing any dollar signs in front of words for no reason. So a lot of this functionality I want to copy over from here, but it's gonna be distinctly different, so it's not gonna be exactly the same. And I don't want it to be a extension of it because I don't want it to have any of the functionality from health system. It's over from here. Here is part of the old blocking system from before I re-implemented it. So I had originally made blocking a function of the health system. The problem with this was that, in order for a creature, including the player, to block something, it had to have a health system. And this is probably functionality that should be separate. and I separated it by moving it from here, the health system, to the body collider, where I can mark a body collider as a shield. Maybe I should change it. Maybe I should change this to a different name, like what should I call it? Like is shield works for now, like it tells me that this actually blocks attacks and it doesn't accept damage. But I feel like it could probably be used for other things aside from being shields. Aside from being, yeah, just being a shield. I could probably erase these. But I'll comment them out just in case. Okay. If hit points less than or equal to 0, die. If so I originally even had knockback as a separate thing from damage. You can tell from this. But I'm removing knockback altogether from this altogether and moving it to here. If instance valid invulnerability timer. Yeah, I think this makes sense, but I don't want to use a timer anymore. I no longer wish to rely on the timer node. I don't want to clutter my scene tree any more than I probably have to. Oh, what am I doing? You know what? Let's comment all of the section out, because this is inside of the node, or this is inside of the section I checked to see if invulnerability timer exists, but I don't want to use that. So let's do it all over here. Again, I don't need that. Okay. Export public LOK invulnerability duration equals so how long do I want the player to not take damage after taking damage? 1 second. That's probably good. Okay. Edit bool invulnerable spots. It should be 0. reason I'm writing these is because I've been told during like courses that it's good practice to initialize variables like this. Also gives me like a good default. Yeah, it's good for the editor. Like if I want something that I want to be true for like 90% of the time, I can just write this, and then I can use the editor for edge cases. I can edit it for edge cases. Okay. And I think I will handle invulnerability using a asynchronous function and a well, a script-based timer as opposed to a node-based timer. If invulnerable, no. Return. Don't do anything. Let's change this to edge amount and knock back vector. Wait, no. I remembered I'm not doing knockback in this script anymore. This is purely for health. If invulnerable return. Okay, so this function is going to handle the invulnerability. It's the invulnerability, yeah, process. Basically, it makes so that the player is invulnerable, wait a certain amount of time, and then make him vulnerable again. I'm just not sure what to call this function. I call it process invulnerability or do invulnerability. Or make invulnerable. Float duration. What? Maybe I should make this public. Maybe I should make it so that I'm not exactly sure why I would do this, but I feel like it's a good idea. Maybe there should be other ways to make the player or other things invulnerable. Oh, and even better, I can make it so that if duration is a negative value, then it just lasts forever. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. If duration, hold on. First thing I should do, invulnerable true. If duration is less than 0, I just realized I don't need this. If duration is less than 0, turn, because we're done. I should probably make it so that this is, I feel like this is something that needs a comment. make it vulnerable for certain duration. If duration is negative, duration past sorry, I had to check my phone. If duration past is negative, it how should I word this? Lasts forever, basically. It lasts forever. Or it continues indefinitely. I don't want to imply that it lasts forever. I just want to imply that it goes until something else turns it off. Oh, I spelt invulnerable wrong. And let's make this async. Await to signal tree. Wait timer. Duration. And then wait for the timeout. Okay. Maybe I should also have maybe I should also trigger some signals, or have some signals available to trigger upon becoming invulnerable and not being invulnerable. On becoming vulnerable, get void on become vulnerable. Oh, of course. Man. Oh, and I've almost forgot, if hit points is less than 0, die. Yeah. Something here is a little redundant, I think. Do I need this variable? Do I need it? I'm not sure if I need it. I think there's a little bit of unnecessary redundancy here that I can clear out. I think this is probably good, but I probably don't need this. This could cause some bugs though. Turn hit points less than 0. Oh, you know what I could do? Do is alive. Because that's the same check. Wow, look at all this stuff that I canceled out. I'm just going to quickly look through it to see if there's any stuff that I should probably restore. I'm not using invulnerability timer anymore. Taking damage is redundant because I have invulnerable check. Yeah, blocking is handled elsewhere. This is related to blocking, I think. I think it is. Block power. Oh, this might be something I want to restore. Probably not right now. So what block power did is it made so that a shield, or, well, not necessarily a shield, but like whatever you're blocking with has like a certain value of what it is capable of blocking. So what so in games like Skyrim, shields work by reducing the damage you take by a certain amount, by like a certain amount. I don't know exactly how it works, but I'm assuming that it's like a it knocks percentage off of received damage. But the way I want to handle shields in this game is I want to make it so that if an incoming attack hits the shield and it is less and its damage value is below the block power threshold, then you take no damage at all. But if it's above that, then it it does the shield just doesn't work. I think it's a system that makes sense because I don't think I think that if you block an attack, you just straight up just shouldn't take any damage at all. I think that actually might be what Skyrim does, but I'm not 100% sure. I think in Skyrim it blocks like 99%, 90 or something percent of damage. That feels correct. I'm not sure, but for this I want it to be 100%. But if you get hit by something that's really, really, really strong, the shield shouldn't work. And since I'm passing off the health system to a different system, I can apply this shield value on a per shield basis. I think I technically could have done that with this, and that was why I made block power public originally, so that I can edit this value externally. But the problem with that was that I'd have to make a script that does that, and that's not ideal. I'd rather just have the structure of the thing in itself be intrinsically implied that happens. You know, the shield itself should have the block power, not the health system. I think that makes sense. Okay, sorry about that. I'm not sure what exactly happened, but well, to put it simply, I'm relying on Wi-Fi, and I have a feeling that someone probably turned the microwave on. That would knock my connection out. Yeah, it's not really something I can help right now, unfortunately. But yeah, let's continue. Okay. What should I copy over? Not this. Restore health. Public void receive knockback. Vector 3 knockback vector. Hmm. It's kind of embarrassing. I didn't think any steps further than this. Because this needs to be applied to a target, but I don't know what I did here. What did I do? Oh, I think I have an idea of what I could probably do. Oh, this isn't gonna work, of course. I'm just gonna quickly set some values in the editor. Failed to build. Okay, what about here? Knockback state. I don't think I want to use knockback state. Or maybe I do, actually. No, I don't. Do I? Player health system. Blocking. With knockback state, it basically handled processing the knockback process for the player, but I feel like I don't want to do that anymore. But one thing that it did do that was good, did it actually do it? No, it didn't. Oh, it did. Yes, it did. So it's what this did is it applied some animation stuff to the player that activates, well, it's meant to activate when the player gets knocked back. Like the player responds to an attack by like going like oof, and then he like visibly gets pushed back in the animation. You know, kind of like when in Skyrim when you sprint into someone and they kind of get pushed back a little bit. It's kind of like that. It's a stun animation basically. And the cool thing about what I did is I actually made it directional. So there's like a one for each for like a left and right, getting knocked forward, getting knocked backward, and it was like a and they can blend into each other. But I'm thinking, I'm not sure if I actually want to do it this way anymore. Maybe I should apply it to the protagonist, like the main protagonist class. And I'm not really sure, but I think I might have already done that in some fashion. I just need to look over all of these. Yes, do knockback. I can copy over all of this and just put it in here. Oh yeah, because I made do knockback a function of the player state class, which every state has in it. So yeah, this whole knockback state is completely redundant. I can just get rid of it. And I think I will. So let's comment the whole thing out because I don't want to delete it. I think that you never want to delete something until you know that for sure that it works without it. Am I getting any errors here? I don't see any. Yeah, let's do it like this. Or yeah, with this. Hold on, I'm just gonna try to understand this function a little bit better. So I wrote this at some point. Forget if it was like a month ago or a year ago or 2 years ago. I think it was actually a bit more recent. So this is knockback vector. What does damage do? Oh, okay. What? Do knockback. Oh, that must be something in here. Yes, it is. You know what? Let's do that. So regardless of the player state, Oh, actually, no, that might be a bad idea. So I don't want this to apply when the player's on a ladder. I don't want the player to get knocked back when he's like attached to a ladder or in a some sort of climbing or some sort of animation where he's like not in a normal state. Basically, yeah, yeah. It was a good thing that I did this. At least in a way, I think. But this should only this should not have a second thing like that. Let's get rid of that. You handle only knockback, or only the animation side of the knockback. Do I have any other errors here? I do. Uh, I'm realizing a bunch of issues right now that I didn't think about before. So I kind of wanted this to do as much of the actual knockback logic as possible. I want it to work on as many different types of things as possible. What I'm going to do is I'm going to knockback, target, and then private. I think this should be a kinematic body. So yeah, I think that and then so yeah, this will control. My plan was to have this control like the actual movement of the knockback, but then I realized I don't necessarily want that to always happen. Oh, I could probably take that into account. I can adapt to this. I can adapt to this. I can make it so that if the player gets knocked back while on a ladder, it like kicks him out of the ladder state and he like falls down. That's probably a good idea, actually. I think that's the best way to do it right now. Target. Okay. So knockback happens over multiple frames, but the probably around the same amount of time that the player is in. No, not the same amount of time, but like I don't even know what I'm trying to say. Of course. It should have its own duration, I think. Let's just change this to duration. No, wait. Okay. I think it should be for a lot less than the standard than the invulnerability information by default. But maybe I can make it so that there is a you can pass in the duration here. Yeah, there's no way I'm gonna finish this today. To have multiple versions of this so that I can pass only the vector or the vector and a duration, and it'll work either way. And if it's only the vector, it'll use the default. Very useful C# feature. And I think this should be async. I also think that should I should also make it so that you can't like start a knockback process while there's an existing knockback already happening. So they can't stack. So if back turn okay. So technically, I could probably stop right now because I've been streaming for an hour and that's how long I usually stream for. But I'm going to finish up this function before I quit for the day. Wait to signal, get tree, timer. What's huh? Why am I getting an error from that? Oh, it's create timer. Duration and wait for the timeout signal. Oh, right. Nested the things wrong. And I need to make sure that the knockback target is actually assigned. Timer targets equals get node. So just so we're clear, every single like knockback is only for kinematic bodies. The protagonist is a kinematic body. and all of the enemies are also kinematic bodies. So what I'm going to do is make it so that over the course of this, it applies the move. Oh, that's not going to work. So over the course of multiple frames, it applies the kinematic body dot move thing to those kinematic bodies over the course of multiple frames. And I realized just now that I can't use a timer for that. I have to like do it every frame. Kinematic body. And this should never be null, so I'm going to assume that isn't. Okay, well, knockback counter is less than duration. I want to do two things. I want to kinematic back target dot move and slide knockback vector, and then await to signal tree. I'm not going to create a timer. I think it's physics frame. This is basically just waiting for delta time. We're waiting for the next frame. And then back counter plus equals 3 dot. Oh crap, I forgot how to get delta time. I want to finish this at least this function today. 5. Get physics process delta time. Oh. Okay then. I'm not going to be able to. Okay, I think I'm done for today. I'm going to end the stream soon. I do not want to test this right now. So I'm just going to make sure that it builds. No? Okay. Okay. So in order to test this, I'm going to have to create some nodes and assign them to the player, and anything else that is going to accept knockback. I don't really feel like doing that right now. I'll do that tomorrow or next stream at least. So yeah, I think that was a pretty productive stream or productive um, session. Yeah, I will see you guys later.